Hello and welcome to Spread Book Joy. Today I'm going to be reviewing Amari and the Night Brothers by BB Alston. It's a fantastic middle grade fantasy and it's a 5-star read. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jack, a qualified primary school teacher who recommends wonderful books for home or school, and I cannot recommend this one highly enough. So what's so special about Amari and the Night Brothers? Just first of all, I just want to have a little look at the beauty of the cover and the book. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but the sprayed edges are all sparkly, and then this gorgeous cover and the illustration by Brittany Jackson. It's stunning, and then you've got lots and lots of sparkles on it. When you take the dust jacket off, the actual bit underneath, hopefully you can pick this up, it's just covered in stars and sparkles. So it's a stunning hardback. If you can afford the hardback and you can get the hardback, I would purchase it. It's a really special edition. I read an awful lot and saw an awful lot about this book online before it came out, and it's been one of the most anticipated releases for children's books. It came out in January and I got it, I pre-ordered it, and lots of people are saying this is going to be the next big thing in children's publishing. And I really hope it is, for a number of reasons, which I'll go into in a moment, because it's supposed to be sort of Men in Black meets Harry Potter kind of thing. So it's that very successful and well-loved, a trope that I love, of a child growing up in the mortal world who discovers that they're special in some way, and they discover a whole secret world, a supernatural world that they now have to be a part of, and they have to find their way in this world. And they're trained and usually end up going to some sort of training or a school. So the premise is Amari Peters is living with her single parent mother and her older brother Quentin, but Quentin, when we start the book, has been missing for months, and turns out that Amari and Quentin are both extremely intelligent children who've won scholarships to a local private school. Now Amari, when we meet her, is having issues at the private school because some of the more affluent children are picking on her. They're telling her brother's dead, and she gets into fights, and so she's got into trouble. When we meet her, she's in the principal's office with her mother because she's got into a fight, and the mother of the other girl, who's extremely rich, wants her expelled. So Amari comes from she doesn't come from an affluent background. They live in a neighbourhood which has a bad reputation, but doesn't mean that everyone there, as Amari points out, not everyone from this neighbourhood is a bad person. They're just not rich people. So when we meet Amari, life isn't all roses. Now, Quentin's been missing for some time. We do find out from, the school that he went to before Amari, he was like top of his class, extremely intelligent. He'd been recruited by, I can't remember what they think he's been recruited by, but he's been recruited to work for this firm of some kind. They don't know anything about it really, Amari and his mum, and then he's gone missing. And then Amari is delivered, a bag of Quentin's things are delivered to her by this mysterious courier. And when she opens it up, she discovers a message from Quentin where he reveals to her that he's been working for the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs, and that Amari, so he used to go on these special summer camps for years and years and years when he was a kid, and Amari and her mum thought it was for children who were sort of, really amazing academic summer camps, for children who are doing really, really well. But it wasn't. There were actually summer training camps for the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. So very Men in Black. So there's everything that you thought was a myth is real. So, Bigfoot is real. All the conspiracy theories about the moon landings, Atlantis, all of these things, there's a whole world underneath that is now that the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs polices and keeps secret from the human world. And Amari, she discovers that her brother was one of the best secret agents that they had on their roster, and he has gone missing in pursuit of a dangerous magician, and they haven't found him. They don't know where he is. And Amari is recruited to the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs, but all she wants to do is find her brother. So I think this should be the next big thing in children's publishing. It's probably going to be adapted at some point, or it should be. It's that trope that is commonly a boy in the lead. So you've got Harry Potter, you've got Percy Jackson. These are children who are not very special in their own world, who are struggling in their own world and discover a whole other world they didn't know existed where they are famous. And Amari is because her brother is famous in this other world, so she is by proxy also. And she's a girl, which I love, because we don't have enough girls in as lead characters in books of this sort. It's full of action, and she's also a black girl, which is even better because the representation in children's literature is appalling. So if you are in the UK, every year the Book Trust, in conjunction with the Centre of Literacy for Primary Education, they do an annual report, and it's called Reflecting Realities. They've been doing it for 3 years in a row now, and Reflecting Realities analyses the children's publishing industry and looks at character representation and author representation. Now, when they first started doing it in 2017, I think the first report came out, there were 4% of lead characters in children's books were from a black, Asian or ethnic minority background. 4%. And there are 33.5% of children in this country come from a black, Asian or minority ethnic background. So that's massively underrepresented. It's moved up now in the last 3 years to 10%, which is still appalling. And I think only 8% of authors for children's work are from a black or minority ethnic or Asian background. So this book is amazing, and it deserves to be a huge bestseller. I think it already is a huge bestseller, which is great. And if you've got a child who loves magic books, who loves fantasy, who likes action, I can't see how anyone won't like this. Age-wise, I think children would enjoy it from the ages of 8 or 9 up. I think children in secondary school will really enjoy Amari and the Night Brothers. I think children sort of 12, 13 years old, I certainly enjoyed it, and it's a great read. So 5 stars for me from Amari and the Night Brothers. I can't recommend this highly enough. It's going to be the next big thing, and deservedly so. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe, and hopefully you'll be back for more middle grade and picture book reviews. I also occasionally do adult reviews, and I'm starting to do some other videos where I do some recommendations for how to read more, for example, or how to support a struggling reader. That's one that's coming up soon. So hopefully I'll see you again here soon. Bye.